that's not food. That's not food. That's Crawford County Outdoors we're talking today. Gavin Beck. Who am I holding here?
Our new hunting star.
New hunting star. What's her name?
Kahlua.
She thinks she's got something to chew on there. Lulu. How about that? Is that going to be like a nickname, Lulu? Well, we are having our viewer video show today, so I wanted to introduce Lulu because she actually made the viewer video because you know, some of the Today Show and some of those morning shows, they have, you know, people what's trending and what, you know, there's a cat doing something on the piano or whatever. We got a puppy doing something funny, so we'll take a look at that later on. But Gavin, I wanted to ask you two about a video that you and I made this summer when we were practicing. By the way, thanks to you and your brother and your dad, Landon and Terry, for helping get the wild games all set up. And you guys were out there the day we were practicing to get ready for it. And you and I talked about maybe you practicing a little shooting that day. So tell me what went on that day.
Rapid fire pistol.
Yeah, yeah. So have you had some practice shooting before? Yeah. So you seem to pick it up pretty quickly. So the concept was how quickly can we shoot and how can we hit the target there, right? Huh? How'd you do?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So what do you think? What do you think about this puppy? What do you think is going to happen down the road when it comes to be hunting season next year? You think maybe she's going to get out there and give it a try? What about you? You've got a hunter safety course to get to, and you know, another year or two to get through before that time. But you think she's going to be a good hunter? I bet you she and Crash are going to be best pals here. I can't wait to get her out there and give it a try. We'll try and get some video of that. How'd that be?
That would be fun.
Well, for our viewer video show today, we have, I think, some fun things for folks to see. We've got the Outhouse Races. You've probably heard about that. So Larry and Nancy Armstrong are going to come and give us all the details about that. Our friends at the Black Ashman Sportsman's Club organized the youth hunt for, hey, that's my arm, and my watch you're chewing on there, Lulu. So Black Ash Sportsman's Club organized a youth pheasant hunt this year, and Cy Van Sice, our expert video man, ran the camera that day, so I'm looking forward to talking to Cy, and we'll take a look at some of that. And we've had some pictures submitted, too, also. John Kolak, who's been with us before, I think he was our guide on the trail walk at Black Ash Sportsman's Club for the silhouette shoot, the handgun shoot. He's had some success with small game season this year and also with archery. Jim Sands, Cy's stepdad, he's had some success with archery, and I was really excited to see that picture. Another contributor to the show, Dick Astor, his grandson Kyler got his first deer this year, and who knows what other surprises. So as always, we're going to finish the show with Chef Lisa, and she's got something special for us. So looking forward to all of that, so stay tuned.
You're funny.
So welcome to Larry and Nancy Armstrong. First time with us on Crawford County Outdoors, but you guys are kind of famous now for something new this year that happened in Crawford County. Tell us about the Outhouse Races. Where'd that idea come from? How did it get to be? Oh, tell us the story. Where'd it come from?
Well, a couple of years ago, in fact, I think it was 2012, we came back from a fishing trip in Canada into upper Michigan and into Mackinac City. And we picked up one of their brochures telling of their events that they have in the village for the year, and one of them was outhouse racing, which was going to be in January. Nancy and I both saw that, and we decided at that time we were going to build an outhouse, and we're going to Michigan.
And we did.
And you did. So tell us how'd that go. I mean, what was that like? How'd that go? Like a real outhouse? We
had to have a 5-man team, and there were 4 of us that went, 2 couples, us and another couple, Keith and Becky Snow. And on the way, of course, we had built the outhouse, and it had skis on it. This is winter racing with skis, and it's very cold, and so you've got all these clothes on and you're trying to race. But we were short a couple people, so when we got there, we just kind of started recruiting, and we went to a restaurant, and the waiter said, yeah, my son and his friend would love to race with us, so we ended up getting the extra racers that we needed. but we found out that it was quite an event there, and they weren't just your normal outhouse.
It wasn't just for, you know, taking the outhouse and then putting it back after. This was really made just for the race. And
yes.
A lot of technology involved, Larry? Is there something that, you know, any like super secrets you can give away for those future outhouse racers?
I'd rather not tell.
Oh, you don't? Okay. All right. Okay.
You want to keep them light?
This race,
Make it light. Make it light. Okay.
This race is actually called the Pepsi International Outhouse Race. And ESPN filmed it. Not the year we were there, but they filmed it one year. It was on ESPN.
So I'll have to watch out for that.
Yeah.
Well, so how did it get to Crawford County? Tell that story.
Well, Townville, Pennsylvania has a Old Home Days, and they've had it, I think,
That's in
40 years or close to it.
in
They've had it.
June or July? In the
July.
summer. In July? Okay.
July, the
Okay.
middle week
At
in
middle of
July.
every July, they have a 3-day event. And we know, of course, from that area, we knew the organizers of it and decided that, and broached the subject of building outhouses and racing them there, and they were all for it. And so last year we had our inaugural race. Prior to that, Franklin, for their Liberty Fest, which is the 4th of July week, had their outhouse race down there, and we talked them in the year but prior to that to having outhouse races, and they did. And I think they had 13 outhouses they built there.
Now you had a flyer that had all the rules on, which I forgot to bring with me today, darn it. I have it laying on my table and I forgot to bring it. But it had all the rules on about how your outhouse had to be structured and what the rules were and what the event was going to be and so on. So tell that story if you would.
We try to get everything so that they're close to the same size, because we don't want somebody having this little miniature outhouse and others having big ones. But they're usually 4x4 and 6 feet tall.
Okay, on wheels now.
On wheels, on 4 wheels.
Okay.
And it's amazing what people come up with 4 wheels.
Tell us a little bit about the competitors. I know there was one, the Bowel Function Junction, which I got a kick out of that name, anyways. And they were organized. They kind of looked very different from each other.
The Hillbilly Bowel Function Junction was our second outhouse, and that was one of our teams that raced.
Wasn't there a Duck Dynasty sort of?
There was a Duck Dynasty. They're the ones.
I'm sorry.
Dump Dynasty
Dump
after the Duck
okay.
Dynasty. And we had our original,
now there was a
the
King
Royal
Arthur
Flush.
kind of, okay.
And then
Royal
there
Flush,
was the Kings of the Royal Throne, or what was it? And the Knights of the Royal Throne.
Yeah.
So there's some creative naming that went on too, in addition
exactly.
to okay.
And themed. You know, people wear the costumes that go with their outhouse.
So talk about the race a little bit, the actual race itself. So you had a starting point and you had a little bit of a maneuvering to do during the race, and it was timed and so on. So talk about that.
Well, many of the races we've been to, there's something different that happens all the time. Some of them it's just a relay race. You know, one outhouse against another one, and you go as
side by
fast
side
as you
from
possibly
point
can.
A to point B. Okay.
Yes, and it's, you know, whichever one gets there
It's
first.
like the drag races.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And but we decided to add a few things in ours. So and we have the turd toss. So when we got to the end, so that we'd slow people down a little bit, we had our turd toss, which are our socks made to look like turds, and they had to throw
Like
them into
beanbags, sort of.
Yes, and they had
to land in the porcelain throne, so to
yes,
speak.
Yes.
Okay.
And before they could go back.
Now, is there any skill involved in that? Yeah, I mean, because you have to stay in the outhouse when you're aiming the turds for the throne, right?
Yeah, we had the person that was in the outhouse throwing them. And then on the way down, they had to stop and pick up the toilet paper. And then on the way back, they had to put it on a holder.
So if your outhouse didn't like sort of roll straight, you were sort of you were putting yourself in disadvantage if you didn't have like one that could sort of roll straight and roll kind of quickly, and you could stop it and maneuver it and so on.
Yeah.
Did the competitors know that going into that they were going to have to do some
Oh, yes.
gymnastics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything was explained to them in advance.
Well,
And a lot of the races, it's a 5-man team. You know, 4 pushers or pullers, and then one on the toilet.
now yours were two pushers and one rider, right?
We had a 3-man team.
Okay.
And so if one person pushed a little harder than the other side, you tended to get them going sideways a little bit.
And you had to have some strategic planning too, that you had maybe not the heaviest person of the 3 be the one that's riding, right? You had to plan that out too. Is that part of the deal? Okay.
Well, or you had the oldest person riding and the
that's
younger
right.
people pulling.
Matter of fact, there was a little birthday celebration that day, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Did I hear some happy birthday singing going on there?
I hit the big 7-0 that day, but what a way to celebrate
What
it.
better,
Yeah.
really, what better way to celebrate your 70th birthday than to have an
Many
outhouse
people
race?
can say that they celebrated a birthday at an outhouse race.
Well, there certainly was a crowd. You drew a crowd, and I suppose they're still talking about it in Townville. I don't know.
I imagine they are, yes.
Now, what about next?
And people are planning for
I was going
next
to say,
year.
what about next year? That was my question. Is it going to happen again?
Oh yeah, in fact, there's more people in it. Once you see it, most people will want to build an outhouse.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's in everybody,
Everybody needs to have an outhouse, and so it'd probably be a fun thing to store in your yard. Wait until next year, and everybody will ask you about it, and what's that all about? And maybe get a visit from whoever it is, the judges at the DEP or whatever. Hey,
Yeah.
that isn't a real outhouse, is it? Well, so are there any secrets you want? I mean, to tell folks to get prepared for next year? They need to be out running marathons or anything now to get ready for it. And
Well, it's good to have it built obviously in advance and do a little practicing with it, which we have made the mistake of not doing.
not practicing. Okay. I noticed some of those competitors were some young, even looked like maybe football player type guys, and they were pretty.
Yes.
They were pretty competitive. They were pretty fast with the thing. Now you ran 2 heats, right?
Yes.
In the race, and
Yeah,
then was the
and
combined.
it was
the combined or the
timed.
best.
It was the best.
The best single time.
Yes.
Of either race.
Of either race, yes.
So
we did.
can you announce who the winners were, and did they get a great prize, or they just get bragging rights?
Actually, we had a fee to be in the race, and then what we collected, the first place got, I think, 75% of it, and then the second place got the
Nice.
rest of it.
And they donated it back to
Yeah,
the
they actually
Old
did, and
Home
it was
Days
the
in Meadville.
it was the youth group from Lyona Church that got first place. They had the Duck Dynasty, and actually our racing team, the Pennsylvania Royal Flush, got the second place.
Now, does that motivate you to really be working to get it next year, get that first place trophy?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
We've never won first place.
Okay. Second place.
We've got second place at Townville, and we got second place in Franklin this year.
We got 5th place up in Bradford, but there was only 5 outhouses.
So only 5. 5th place, that sounds good. You didn't need to tell the rest of that story, Larry. 5th place, hey, that was good at Bradford. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for coming on and telling the story, and I think folks will enjoy the video. I certainly thought that was a lot of fun, and I was impressed by the crowd that all turned out to see the whole thing, and,
Well, I
and
think-
how much people got into that. That was really something.
I think a lot of people, when they saw it in the paper, they were like, I have got to see
What
what
is
an
that?
outhouse race is about.
Well, Larry, congratulations on your 70th birthday out there.
Well,
Nancy,
thank you.
congratulations
Yeah.
on second place finish in the outhouse race. Good luck next year.
Okay.
Get set and go! Don't forget the go out there. All right, on the run they got it. Three, and they're on. They are fast, that's for sure. They take this seriously, and they take it.
Well, a big welcome back to Cy Van Cy. Seems like we've talked on our viewer video show here just about every year we've had it, I think. And now you were the video guy this year for the youth hunt, for the youth pheasant hunt. The Black Ash Sportsman's Club put that together with the Pennsylvania Game Commission. So, what'd you think? How'd you think that went?
I thought it was fun. I think it turned out pretty good.
We had two junior hunters with us that day, and both of them, I think one had gone one time before and one hadn't gone at all before, but they were pretty eager. And now I was working with Crash. I was working with the dog, so I was kind of focused my attention A on the dog and B on kind of the safety angle of having a 12 and 13-year-old out there, so I was thrilled you came along to run the camera, and I thought you did a great job of it. It was a pretty good day. It was a little bit damp as we were out pushing through the brush, and I don't know, I'm thinking ahead of time. I should have probably thought for a different spot. Maybe we could have set this up. But in some cases, that brush was like right, and I'm pretty tall. It was right at my head height, and so you were probably having to dodge some weeds there going through.
It was all right.
The kids were really into it. They seemed to really enjoy that. And just one. I think maybe they really got the safety lecture because when a bird would flush, and I think the folks will see Crash was doing a good job as he always does. and the bird would flush, and there was just a hesitancy. I want to wait, and you know, and I'm telling them, shoot, it's okay, shoot, it's okay, shoot. And it seemed like by the time they'd get the shot off, the bird was already pretty far out there, and maybe wasn't even able to get it that far away. But they did get some, and that worked out all right. So, what do you think it's like? What about your plans for down the road? You're quite the video man here. You think you might incorporate that in your work and your someday? And
maybe I don't know. This year I'd like to get a rifle hunt on film.
Yeah. Now, how are you going to do that? How, you know, attach the camera to your gun, or?
Nah, I'd probably just go out and film somebody or have somebody film me.
So your stepdad, Jim Sands, is quite the hunter, and he had told me he filmed one time, and I was kind of curious how to do that, because I've always had the same thing, and I've gotten just little snippets in it. I attached the camera right to the scope of my gun.
Yeah, like a GoPro or something.
Yeah, and you know, it seems like the deer's like a mile away when you actually watch the video, so that's okay just to get, you know, one little part of it, but you know, you did a great job filming the kids hunt, so.
Thanks.
You know, another point about that too. This past spring, I went out with some of the falcon hunt guys, and having someone around who knows hunting, who's been hunting himself before, helps a lot, I think. They were telling me they had a crew from, I think it was from ABC or someplace, that was trying to do a video with them, and they were trying to have it all set up so that the bird would fly and get the animal that it was, you know, that it was chasing, whatever. It doesn't work that way, you know. So I just followed the dog. I followed the dog physically, and I followed the dog with the camera, and I figured, well, the dog's going to chase out the rabbit, and that's what the bird's after. And so it worked out. I actually got the bird getting the rabbit 2 different times, you know. And the guy's like, oh, that was great. Nobody ever got the bird. I'm thinking, well, if I'm, you know, that rabbit's not going to go anyplace except when that dog's going to find his way to it, you know. Sure enough, he did. So I was happy that you were along, because you sort of had the idea there that you know, the action's going to happen sort of where the dog is, right? And eventually we'll get the guys, we'll get them shooting and all that kind of stuff. So So, well, thanks to Black Ash Sportsman's Club for organizing that. Had you ever gone on yourself? Had you ever gone on any things like that when you were in the junior hunter age category?
Yeah. I never went on one that was sponsored like that, but I've been on a few hunts like that when I was younger. And
what's your recollection from that? Was that something memorable for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of good experience to learn. I mean, just like you said, learn the safety stuff.
I think for our junior hunters out there, I think that's a great experience. You probably hear your dad, your uncle, your granddad, or whatever talking about that. And say, oh boy, I'd like to do that, you know. And for them to get out there and not have to compete with everybody else on opening day, you know, I think that really helps. The weather was pretty good, and got some good dog work. And I was happy for Crash that he was actually finding them and getting the birds up there. So they were really getting a chance to see some birds and to see how it's kind of what it's like. And I don't know, I kind of wonder sometimes if our family members at home realize, you know, you're really stomping through, you know, sometimes through some thick brush, and you know, don't realize what it's like. And so, thanks for making it visible, you know, for our families out there, so they know that. You know, I'm making this up. For the hard work that we go through to bring that food home for them, right? So, well, so I appreciate your work with that. Thanks again, as always. Now you're getting to be a regular here on a viewer video. We appreciate it.
I like it here.
Joining us now is Chef Lisa. Lisa Beck. Hello. Lisa, before we get started with our cooking segment today, I have to say we had the Women's Wild Games this past summer. You rock.
Thank you.
Everybody knows about your cooking skills and about your turning those great recipes out every time we have our session here. But the thing that I think I was most impressed with all the Wild Games this year was, Lisa, man, you jumped right in there, and you were very competitive with the whole thing.
Well, thank you. I had a good time. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
What kind of feedback have you heard since then?
Well, I've been stopped in the stores numerous times and asked, you shoot guns, don't you? You shoot guns. And I say, yes, I do.
Well, just wait till next year. I got some ideas for next year.
Oh, boy. So. The only thing I asked Duane is just get the slingshot out of there. That was not one that I could do.
Interesting.
I liked all the other ones. Clay pigeons, never expected to be able to do that, but it was a lot of fun.
You were a machine with the shotgun.
It's a good time.
The pistol shooting, the rifle shooting. I was impressed, Lisa.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so this summer, I think it was in August. Well, let me start the story further back.
Okay.
When I was a kid, Sunday afternoon drive, that was kind of a popular thing back in the 60s and whatever. And one of the things in June, we'd go pick strawberries on one of the Sunday afternoon drives. In July, we'd go pick cherries. In August, we'd go pick blueberries. In September, go pick apples. It was kind of like a family tradition, and in addition to going to Kinzu and going to other places that you could sort of get to and back on a Sunday afternoon drive. So my family, I like this stuff. So it's like we'll still do a lot of those things, as you know. And now, of course, my kids are, you know, they're kind of getting to be past the stage of that. But I took the camera and we went to pick blueberries this year, and I thought, I wonder if Lisa would like to make a blueberry recipe.
And I love blueberries, and I love picking blueberries, and all the other ones that you just spoke of.
Blueberries are like right there.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to get on your hands and knees.
Exactly.
You don't have to climb on a ladder.
Easy, easy.
And now you do maybe have to watch out for a bee or whatever.
Right.
But there's no thorns. There's no, you know, when you go to a place that has blueberries and you buy so many pounds, you know,
Sure.
so much per pound,
Right.
and it's very affordable.
Sure.
And you might accidentally eat one while you're there, and that's, you know, not frowned upon. I don't think necessarily.
Not a bad thing. And I love blueberries, and I love to use them in my cooking. So that was, when you said that to me, I was ready for that.
So what was your idea for today?
We are doing a family recipe that my mother-in-law taught me, Fran Sheelatz, and it is a blueberry French toast, which is a great recipe if you're going to have company, because it's one of those ones that you can make the night before.
Okay.
And so you're all ready when your guests get up in the morning. So.
It's a breakfast thing, but it could be for any other time if you want to.
Anytime, sure.
Like Perkins or whatever.
That's right. Breakfast any time of the
food
day.
all day long.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right,
absolutely. And it's easy. It's easy too. So we're going to start off with, I have my hot plate going. You can do this in the microwave, but I don't have a microwave down here. So Duane, if you don't mind using a left-handed spoon, I'm going to have you do some stirring for me.
I can do it.
So what we have is a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, get that going. We have a half a cup of butter.
Now, is it the salted kind of butter?
Unsalted. I always bake with unsalted.
Okay.
You know, that's just me. I don't need the extra salt, so. And then we have 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. And what we're gonna do is just get this going on the stove. And it's already started. Can you hear that, Duane?
It's making a little noise.
It is, and we're just gonna stir it up and make a simple syrup out of it.
You trust my stirring
I do,
skills?
but you might want to hold that.
Hang on to that. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, just get it going and melt that.
Does the butter need to be like kind of like right on the bottom? So it's
Yeah,
most
might
of
need
the
to
heat?
mix that in there. Yeah, get it in there good. I've got a little more corn syrup in here we could get in. Yeah, you got to get that mixed up in there.
It is melting.
Yeah, it's going to make like a simple syrup.
Now, when you got sugar in there, if you let it get too hot, it's going to get caramelized. It's going to get dark,
and
right?
it's okay.
And that's all right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It'll be to the point where we can pour it, and that's what we want.
You know, it's funny about the brown sugar. It gets kind of lumpy, you know, when you go to measure it, and it's like, I never know, like, do you kind of pack it in to get the right
always
measure,
pack it in to get the right
So you do pack it in to
measure.
get the right measurement? Okay.
And someone taught me that sometimes it dries out. If you put a couple apple slices in the container, yeah, it'll moisten it back up again.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, you got it going. You got it going. So while you're doing that, Duane.
Did you say this was a left-handed spoon?
It is. It is.
But for the record, I'm using my right hand.
You are, but you're holding the
pot
with your left hand, which is also a left-handed pot, so you're okay. So while you're doing that, Duane, I'm going to take 5 eggs, and I'm going to put them in my big bowl. And I'm going to add to it a teaspoon of vanilla and a cup and a half of milk. It smells really good.
By the way, Lisa, you were happy with my blueberry concept. I was happy with the French toast. That's one of my favorite breakfast things.
French toast?
Yes.
Well, then this just really works out, doesn't it?
This is good all the way around.
And what I'm going to do is just beat these together. Like I said, this is one of those recipes you make the night before. You want it to soak into your bread. We have cut up here a loaf of Italian bread. And what I know about this recipe too is you always have more bread. So I can put this in like a container and a half.
Okay.
Because there's always more, you know, a loaf of Italian bread is pretty big. So that all mixed up. Get our dishes out of the way. How are we doing?
It's like the butter's all melting and it wants to right on top of the sugar.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Here, let me see. Let me give it a couple good. It'll incorporate. Just needs.
Oh, I see. That was using your wrong hand.
Yeah,
okay.
you have
Let me try with my left hand. Let me try with my left hand.
That's how you do it. That's how it works, Duane.
Okay.
In this house, you have to use the utensils, the left-handed utensils to make them work.
I thought that was in the southern hemisphere that you used.
No, that's here. That's here in the back house.
Okay.
Yep. We just need to get that going a little bit longer. It's getting there.
Look, it's Haley's Comet.
Ah. Oh.
I switched to my right.
I saw that. I saw that.
I don't want to burn myself.
No, don't do that. Okay, so we got that syrup going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my large Pyrex dish, and I have a little side dish because I have a little extra bread, so that'll work. I am famous for using my spray so things don't stick, so I'm going to give them a good spray. Of course, this is left-handed spray as well.
Ah, I didn't know that. Olive oil spray. Does it matter if it's that kind?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. That's all I have. So let's see.
It's bubbling a little. Is that good?
Yep, that looks great. I think we're about ready. Yep. Yep, you made a nice little syrup there, Duane.
Yeah, it's probably because I jumped in with the left hand there.
Yeah, probably. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pour it into the bottom of these pans. Okay. Just make sure I coat the bottom.
And you called that a simple syrup?
I guess it's like a simple syrup. Yeah. Just make sure it covers the bottom of the pan. We'll just set that on the cold side.
You don't need this burner anymore?
Nope, I don't need that burner on anymore.
If I turn it that way, no, that turns it on.
Nope.
Turn it that way to turn off.
Okay. And then what you're going to do is, of course, we pick these in the summer, so I put them in bags. So it's 1 bag of blueberries, frozen blueberries, which I drain, but you could use fresh. And I'm just going to dot the bottom of the pans with the blueberries, so they go on the bottom.
Now, do you have to spread them out when you're putting them in the freezer so they don't kind of freeze all in
You
the big
can.
lump?
You can. Sometimes I've frozen things that way. I put it on a baking dish.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then like a cookie sheet. And after they freeze, I stick them in a bag.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all set in here. We'll just make sure everybody can see that. And then we take our bread, and we just set the bread on top.
Now, you said this was easy. This does seem pretty easy.
It is, and it's, you just wait. It's one of those, you know, it's a good one. It's a good recipe. This is a big hit in our family. Let's see, just kind of have to arrange them so they all fit.
So it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. And you have to
Sure.
line them up. Nice plate, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Okay, then we have our egg mixture. And what you do is you just pour it over. Pour it over the bread. And
I'm
see,
used to like dunking the bread in the egg mixture and then
right.
putting it in the fry pan.
This soaks
And you're
overnight.
Pouring it to soak.
Yep.
Interesting little twist.
Yeah.
Do you suppose French toast, actually someone from France came up with that originally?
I don't know. I should have researched that for this show. You know that?
I knew I could stump you on something.
You did. Just want to make sure you coat everything really well. And then when you soak it overnight, even if you know, missed a spot, it's going to soak into it. So you're going to be okay. Get this in the sink. One last step. Take your cinnamon. And you just want to give it a nice coating of cinnamon on the top.
Wow. Probably shouldn't jump the gun and eat it now. Probably needs to.
No.
Needs to soak for a while.
This needs to soak overnight. But, well, and again, so I want to reiterate that this is a great recipe for having company. So, you know, you can have it prepared, get it up and going. You're going to put it in the oven in the morning at 350 for 40 minutes. I cover it with aluminum foil. And you're going to have a really nice breakfast for your family or your friends. And trust me, they're going to love it. So, in a minute here, we've had one cooking because I made one last night. We soaked it overnight. So we'll pull it out and we'll get a chance to try this.
Can't wait.
Okay, 350, 40 minutes.
See, one of the benefits of being on the viewer video show, Gavin and Si, is you get to sample whatever Chef Lisa's making up here, so I can't wait.
Okay, are we ready?
What do you think?
Can you smell it?
Oh my, yes. Oh, wow.
Okay.
So one more time, Lisa, this is called?
This is called a blueberry French toast. And again, it was my mother-in-law, Fran Sheila. It's her recipe.
Well, thank you, Fran.
Yeah, and she's made it for the family many times. And we love it. Hold on a second, Dad.
So So Gavin, is this your favorite part of the show too?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And Lessa comes being interviewed.
That part you didn't like
Hold
nearly as
on,
much?
Gab.
Okay. Well, the puppy liked it. She chewed on me the whole time we talked.
Just wait, we'll all try it at the same time. How's that? I know, it's a little warm, so you're gonna want to give it a minute.
So it comes with its own syrup, huh?
Yeah.
How about that? You don't have to add any of that extra stuff.
No, not at all. Sigh. You are welcome. That's piping hot there, guys.
Okay. So you know what I would say, Lisa? Get out there, take your family, go out and pick some fruit.
That's right. It's good for you.
And it's fun. And again, if you want to sample a little bit while you're out there, that's okay.
That's right.
And then Chef Lisa can make you up something great like that.
Yeah. And this is easy. You can do this too. All right, everybody. It's pretty warm. Be careful.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know. I gotta blow on this.
That's good.
Oh yeah. Lisa, that was awesome.
Thank you.
With the viewers can we all around.
Good job, Paul.
Yeah, we need to have one more. Thanks, Gab. That recipe's a keeper.
For sure. Remember before we've had some that were like fussy but fabulous, and this was like easy and fabulous.
Easy
right?
and fabulous,
I
absolutely.
know I like blueberries,
But you like the French toast.
Did you like the French toast?
Yeah.
That's good. I love the blueberries and I love the French toast.
Well, Gavin and Lulu, thank you for kind of kicking off the show today, and I think folks will enjoy Lulu's video.
I think so too.
Playing with the doorstop, you know, that's
Yes.
how could that be a bad thing?
It's a good thing, and it's funny because you know the first time they find something, and it's
And we
cute.
caught it on video.
especially
You did, yeah.
Especially when they think it's a monster.
Yes. She might have thought it was a monster. That's
Well,
true.
thanks to our contributors who sent us in photos today. Thanks to Larry and Nancy Armstrong for the fun outhouse race video, and Cy, thanks for filming for us for the youth hunt, the Black Ash Youth Hunt for Pheasant Hunt. And Lisa, thanks as always
You're
for
welcome.
the great recipe.
Anytime.
Especially thanks to the folks at home for joining us on Crawford County Outdoors, and we'll talk to you next time.